is 4 p.m. We're bringing developing news.
And the stories behind the headlines. This is Storycon. I'm Regina Lay.
I'm Edlin Gao. Some stories are watching this last day of March. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has directed Foreign Affairs Secretary Maria Teresa Lazaro to open talks with Iran. That's to secure safe passage for Philippine-bound vessels through the Strait of Hormuz. Palace Press Officer Claire Castro says the meeting with Iran's ambassador could happen as early as tomorrow or next week.
Senate Agriculture Committee Chair Senator Kiko Pangilinan says lawmakers have formed a crisis committee with the Departments of Agriculture and Agrarian Reform to address food security concerns. Pangilinan added that his office is drafting bayanihan-style supplemental budget that may include a suspension of loan and interest payments to ease the burden on affected sectors. Over at the House of Representatives, Speaker Boji D has expanded to 13 the number of committees tasked to handle the oil crisis, with joint hearings set on April 8. The panels, which include Energy, Agriculture, Foreign Affairs, Ways and Means, Labor, Transportation, Trade and Industry, and Appropriations, will gather data and consider measures such as a possible supplemental budget too. The Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas says inflation in March could have risen between 3.1 and 3.9%. That is much higher than the previous month. The central bank cites higher prices of fuel, rice, and electricity, as well as a weaker peso, as key drivers of these price pressures. However, lower prices of vegetables, fish, and meat may have helped temper the increase. The BSP adds that inflation could average 5.1% in 2026. That's above the government's target range of 2 to 4%.
Trade Secretary Cristina Roque says there will be no price increase on basic necessities and prime commodities until April 16. Roque says the commitment comes from both manufacturers and retailers, covering 205 products under the DTI's suggested retail price system. She adds that these prices are monitored and controlled and cannot be changed arbitrarily.
And today is the last day of the Independent Commission for Infrastructure, or ICI, even as questions persist over the status of the flood control anomaly investigation. Palace Press Officer Claire Castro says the fact-finding panel has submitted its report to the Ombudsman and the Department of Justice. The Ombudsman and the DOJ are also continuing their own investigations based on the ICI's findings. Castro likewise dismissed claims that the issue has been forgotten, saying that the cases are now all under review.
And joining us today, I think via Zoom, in a bit, will be Rol Llamas. Okay, mamaya pa siya. But from the Philippine Star, we already have Editor-in-Chief Ami Pamintuan. Hi, Ami. Happy Tuesday. Ami, I think you're muted. Try again. Okay. We're still fixing Ami's audio. We still can't hear her. Anyway, but we know the time is there. We just need to fix the audio. So, April 16 na lang ang moratorium on price increases. Akala ko naman.
Honestly, ang daming dates that we have to keep track of.
April
11. April 11. Hindi, yung April 16 is hanggang, yung food supply, food prices is hanggang doon.
That's what they can guarantee until April 16 na lang before mag-increase.
But again, that's just a suggestion na hindi namin sinasabi because they haven't imposed any price caps. April 11 naman is the last day for the temporary waiver of sanctions on Russia.
Oh yeah.
Diba we purchase oil from Russia.
Yeah.
So what does that mean past April 11?
So the State Department agreed to a waiver for 1 month, and that's April 11. So what happens after that, no?
So where do we buy the oil? And I guess based on the news that you read, President Marcos has instructed DFA to start negotiating with Iran. But we've not bought oil from Iran in recent years. So may logistical issue din doon because how do you transport the oil from Iran to the Philippines, right? If it hasn't been already established before.
And if it's exclusively for us, who's going to pay for the insurance costs, the premiums?
Well, I guess the government kasi tayo
But those are war
it's a
premiums.
G2G. It sounds like it's a G2G.
But that's for the oil, not for the transport,
Yeah.
the cargo ship, and that's where they hit you with insurance. With
That's-
insurance premiums, you're talking about war premiums.
This is where moral suasion comes in again. Konting nudge-nudge sa mga...
So, not with insurance company.
Hindi. Asking the private sector siguro to help shoulder it. I don't know.
No,
I mean, I'm
but
just...
for that kasi you usually have you usually have a Liberian or mga ganong klaseng tankers moving the oil, not Filipino tankers.
Kaya nga, exactly. So they have to pay for insurance for that and they have to organize that. And again, if the Iranian oil has not been coming to the Philippines specifically, aayusin pa yan. But in the meantime,
breaking
of
down.
course, we've just been monitoring the currency markets and the peso once again closed at a new record low. Now we're at 60.748. This is the
The lowest of the low.
8th time, if I'm not mistaken, that we've hit a record low in March. Because yesterday was also a record low, but that was the 7th time. And so this makes it the 8th time. Can you imagine?
I stopped counting.
I have to count. I cover the economy. I have to count. And sadly, I have never seen a month like this. So, alam mo yung term na annus horribilis, horrible
the
year?
horrible year.
What is the equivalent for a month? Months. Something horribilis.
Mansal horribilis.
Mansal horribilis. It has been a horrible month this March. No, because this is when the start of the month was when the war in Iran began.
60.748.
748.
Okay.
It's a Mansal horribilis.
Okay. I stopped doing eBay na eh. but you cannot stop buying
Okay
oil
ba?
for which we use dollars, US dollars, because we're stuck with the
Okay,
dollar.
Ami will know the answer to this.
Ami.
Okay na. Oh, ayan
Yeah,
na. Okay
we can
na.
hear you.
Oh, ayan.
ano yung monthly equivalent ng annus horribilis?
Hindi ko alam yung ano nung anus eh.
Hindi ko rin alam yung Latin ng months.
That's Latin eh. So let's
Oh,
check
I don't know what
Latin. I forget
Latin.
Hindi ko
my
alam
Latin
Latin
eh.
ng monthly.
Oh.
Month.
I was just saying that
Horrible month.
March has been a horrible month. The
Ides
war-
of March na lang.
Oh,
Ides of
Ides
March.
of March.
Madali-dali. Oh.
Menses
Ides of March. Ang
horribilis.
bagal ng
Bilis
ano
naman
natin.
natin.
Thailand, talk to Iran. I think about a week ago, no? Pinalusot na yung ano nila.
Pinalisot na yung vessels heading to
kanilang
Thailand.
Yung sa Thailand, several days ago.
Oh.
Medyo late tayo. Next week pa daw yan.
So I got a word from our EP Jan saying that Menses horribilis is the horrible month.
Okay.
Menses horribilis.
Okay.
At the start of the month, we saw the war in Iran break out, and just before you came on, Ami, the peso closed
Yeah.
at another record low. So
Oo
pang
nga.
eighth time this month that it's
Oo nga.
closed at a record low, and I've never seen a month like this before na dire-diretso yung
Bad news.
economic bad news.
Saka ang bagal-bagal, ano? Mabuti pa, ano na lang nila yung value-added tax ng fuel, ano? Nagkaintay-intay na lang ng time, tagal-tagal eh. If you really want to give a relief, no?
It's easier kasi to
12%
implement
tax.
eh. Kasi tatanggalin lang
Yeah.
nila yung VAT. Whereas yung
Yeah,
ayuda,
mas madali yun eh.
hanggang ngayon, logistically, they're having trouble getting to all of the drivers and the riders.
Saka empowered yun under the Constitution, pwedeng gumalaw agad presidente immediately.
Oo.
Kung VAT
Sa
magkano?
value-added tax under
12%.
because
Yeah,
energy
magkano yung awas?
emergency na tayo eh.
Magkano yung awas
Under
pag
an
ano?
emergency, pwede. 12%.
Yeah. How much does that translate to in reduction
Hindi ko alam,
in
nahihilo
pump
na ako sa
prices?
presyo ng ano, no?
I know it's
Nahihilo na
12%.
ako sa presyo.
Doesn't it get imposed at port? Katulad ng excise taxes, kinikalculate
Hindi. Purchase yun.
Sa- upon
Sa presyo
purchase.
natin, binibenta natin. Consumer tax yun eh.
But
Oh.
it is...
Kahit naman yung excise tax, pinapasa din sa atin. Kahit sa
Oo, lahat
kotse,
Yeah.
pinapasa pa rin sa atin yun.
Yeah, and then yun nga apart from
Dapat value-added tax, 12%.
the bad news in the economy, as we just read, ICI, today's the last day for the ICI.
Bad news.
Ayun.
Binubulong mo, may microphone ka dyan. Bubulong sana, bad news, pero yung microphone nandito. Ano?
Hey, we're all in
Binumusan
blue.
ba yun, ano?
It's a very blue day.
Yan ang microphone mo.
Yeah, we're all blue.
I'm surprised there was bad news about the economy.
Introduce mo ang sarili mo.
Blue.
Pakilala mo
Our
sarili
is
mo.
blue.
Ano yung pa-cute?
Na.
Hindi bagay sa'yo, Bok. Hindi. Ang ating international man of mystery,
Gandang hapon po.
Shipping
Grabe.
rates, akyat na rin, ha? Shipping
Grabe.
rates,
Grabe
30%.
traffic, wala namang traffic. eh.
Calling all MMDA, hindi yung underpass dito sa show. Sa show yung underpass, sarado, 3 lanes yun,
Parang
di
ikaw
ba?
na nakaka-experience
But-
ng
but-
traffic
Sarado
sa
yung
atin.
2
Bakit?
lane, ginagawa yung kalsada ng MMDA.
May construction.
Bakit nila ginagawa during rush
Construction.
hour?
Kasi nisip nila wala na kotse.
Kasi there are fewer cars on the
Kasi walang
road.
dumadaan na
Fuel
kotse.
casting gap.
Hindi ko alam. Ikaw lang yung nakaka-experience ng
Gapang
traffic
from
sa atin.
Cubao.
Ang sabi ni Nick Torre kagabi raw, 30% na reduction. Tama ba, Jan? 30% reduction ng,
Hindi.
ng volume?
General,
Sa
gapang yung
MMDA?
traffic, mula
Oo.
Cubao.
Around 30% less daw.
Oo, yun pala eh. Isipin mo kung walang 30% reduction, mas grabe yung traffic. So okay ka na, huwag ka na reklamo. Half full, half
Pero
empty.
calling on MMDA, Chairman Arles, General Manager Torre.
Artes.
Ba't naman kayong gumagawa?
Si Arles yung
Si
mojo
Arles,
natin.
reporter natin.
Ba't naman kayong gumagawa ng 2 lanes, 3 lanes lang?
Kasi nga Holy Week na, so it's a quieter
Oo
time.
nga.
Quieter, mula Kamyas hanggang dito, gapang yung traffic.
Bakit kaya ikaw lang nakaka-experience ng traffic sa atin, no?
Hindi naman ako galing ng Forbes Park. Diba? Hindi naman ako galing na...
Season,
Bakit ikaw lang,
season
no?
ngayon ng penitensya, kayo talaga. Walang
hindi naman
katapusang
ako galing ng
penitensya tayo
Forbes.
ngayon. Ano?
Oh, sa
Hindi
bagay.
katulad ng iba dyan.
Galing sila na baliches.
Galing ako Novaliches, Quirino Highway.
Okay. Tell that to the Marines.
You really expect sympathy from us, no?
Wala.
Talaga, puro penitensya tayo ngayon. Simula nung Ash Wednesday,
Oo nga daw eh,
penitensya.
may narinig nga ako, bad daw yung economy.
Parang you're expecting sympathy from Pontius Pilate and ano.
Sabi ni Ami, time for penitensya. What are you,
Oo nga.
uh,
Ito na nga eh.
What are you sorry for? For what are you repenting?
what are you repenting for? What are you repenting for?
Repenting for being here.
For the what?
Physically sa Storycon.
At baka
Yan ha.
Bubulong mo na naman.
madagdagan pa.
May mademerits ka sa principal, lo.
Baka madagdagan pa yung story con at safe house.
Pero marami pa din naman daw nagbibiyahe kasi karamihan sa, especially sa flights, pre-book yan mga yan eh.
Yeah, yeah.
At hindi naman tinaasan.
But
Saka
if you're going to
tuloy
buy
ng mga
madalian,
bakasyon. Oo. Yan. Kaya ang problema, yung mga nagbabiyahe sana na nakakotse, yun ang medyo nag-iisip-isip ngayon, tutuloy ba namin yung lakad namin? Sobra-sobra eh. Yun ang apektado. Pero yung flight, saka yung shipping, so far, although ang shipping, tataas daw 30% increase. Shipping rates.
Tapos on my
Shipping
way
rates,
here,
pati
tinatapos ko
passenger, I
yung-
guess.
On my way here, tinatapos ko yung column ko kila Juan.
Kay Ami.
Kila Ami, yung sa Philippine Star ngayon, yung Tagalog.
Oh,
Pinalitan ko yung title dahil masyadong galit eh.
masyadong ano,
Galit.
masyadong agitprop.
Masyadong agit eh. Yung joint exploration. Galit na galit ako eh. Kaya medyo minodify ko. Ginawa ko na lang joint exploration with China, di wow. Ganun
But
ko na.
originally,
medyo,
ano? Ano?
originally, katangahan at kataksilan.
Teka.
Sabi ko, pinalitan ko na lang, baka magalit si Ami.
Hawaii nga ni Tes Lazaro, loko.
Ginawa ko na lang, di wow.
By the way, si Secretary Lazaro gave an interview to CNN's Christian Amanpour about the oil crisis and how, well, I mean,
Mas tinanggap niya na may crisis kesa sa sa
Oo nga.
Now she can say it kasi na-declare na.
yung mga
diba?
kesa sa mga spokesperson.
Pero, oo, it's interesting. I mean, but she didn't talk much about ano yung gagawin from now on. She was just asked how bad the situation is on the ground, tsaka what we're gonna do if we do run out of fuel, which she didn't answer.
We will
Mahirap ka
pray.
naman sagutin yun.
Mahirap sagutin nga.
Kung ikaw
Oo
po
nga,
na
hindi rin alam ng
secretary.
gobyerno.
But I mean,
Tawag sa kanyang answer, dribble.
but what would we do if we run out of fuel? Or if we have to ration fuel?
Meron pa bang story ko?
Meron pa.
Hindi
Oo,
magla-lockdown
meron
uli, parang COVID.
Oo.
Magla-lockdown uli, parang COVID.
Magla-lockdown ulit.
Bawal
Okay,
lumabas.
I mean,
malaki
there's no-
rationing.
Bawal lumabas.
Okay.
Pero Ami, ang sinasabi nila, it can be worse than COVID eh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Dahil at least sa COVID, merong pagkain. Diba? Merong flow of goods eh.
2 weeks ago, si Patrick Paez, our other editor, were saying that it could be worse than COVID. I said, hindi naman siguro because COVID, nothing moved. So, the economy came to a
Yeah.
standstill. Ito naman siguro, things are still moving. The economy is moving, kaya lang prices are
Yeah.
really high. But then now, a month in, it could be worse nga because of
Because kung mawala yung supply ng oil, everything stops.
we don't have a precedent for this in terms of what happens if we have to ration oil. Who gets what is a question.
Meron ng rationing sa Baguio, Cordillera.
Oh, pero let's imagine for a second that nationwide you have to ration oil because there's only so much that we could get. And
Yeah.
before you arrived, pinag-usapan namin ni Ed, April 11 mag-expire yung temporary waiver
The
on
waiver.
sanctions on Russia, right? Which means we can no longer buy Russian oil unless the US extends that waiver. And then April 16 is when the
Yung guarantee na nakuha ng DTI sa mga manufacturers that they will not increase prices
until
that's when
that
it
day.
expires.
Yeah.
In other words, after the 16th, goodbye Philippines yung mga ano.
Goodbye.
Di ba nung una 60 days yan?
Hindi, 2 months. Oh, tama,
2
tama.
months.
2 months.
Nung una 60 days yan.
So dapat hanggang end of May
Yes.
Yeah.
or mid-May at least.
But then again, these are commitments being written in the wind. Eh. Kasi
Hindi, tsaka
walang ano eh.
parang kinokontra nyo ang law of gravity.
Bakit? What's with gravity?
Ha? Talagang gano'n eh.
Baka
ang tawag mo
i-extend
sa
yung
free
sa
market,
Russia.
law of supply and demand.
So let's imagine for a second a scenario where let's worst case scenario. Nobody likes to talk about it, but we have to prepare for it. Let's say you have to ration oil. How will the government do that? Paano nila i-allocate? Sinong
Una, ipaprioritize nila military. Kalawa,
Dapat military.
ipaprioritize
Kuryente.
nila yung magde-deliver ng mga pagkain. Di ba? So, gaganunin nila. Yung transport ng tao, yun yung masasacrifice.
Personal transport.
so back to work from home tayo?
Yung transport ng pagkain, gamot, yun ang ipaprioritize. Tsaka yung military na poprotektahan yung ating bansa.
Paano naman yung mga frontline services like the hospital?
Yun,
Yun, kasama yun.
sa priority.
Parang sa
Gamot,
COVID.
tsaka hospitals.
In a way, parang
Food,
pandemic,
health, and
meron siyang
security.
hierarchy of needs.
May hierarchy of needs.
Tapos meron ka lang papayagang lumabas at merong hindi pwedeng lumabas.
Ang problema mo ngayon,
Food, health, security, emergency.
Parang tatagal yung gera eh. Yun ang problema.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It keeps changing every 24 hours.
Now si Trump is
Kaya
openly
iniintay
threatening
lagi
Carg
namin
Island.
kung ano mangyayari pagising ni Trump. 4 in the morning. Maya-maya maghihintay kami ng balita na naman.
Ano pag inoccupy niya yung Carg Island, that will be the first boots on the ground. Ano, maraming Marines ngayon papunta sa Middle East eh. No? Hindi ko nakarating na nga yung iba. So, pag inoccupy mo yung Carg Island, bobombahin niya ng Iran.
It's only 20 miles away from the
The coast.
line eh.
So, i-occupy mo yung coast na 400 kilometers yung haba. So, pag inoccupy mo yung coast, that's more boots on the ground. Ngayon, yung coast na yan, bobombahin yan nung Zagros mountain range na doon nakalagay yung mga missiles at artillery ng Iran for the past 30 years. Mga kuweba yon.
So they're all looking
Mga
down at you.
kuweba. So, looking down on the coast. So, lulusubin mo ngayon yun. So, it's going to be another Afghanistan. Kung ganyan yung gagawin ni Trump, kung i-occupy niya yung Carg Island, magkakaroon niya ng mga connect. No? At
Si Apocalypse Now po yan, ha? Si Apocalypse Now.
The bearer of bad tidings? Mr. Ron Llamas.
Tapos, you have Houthis preparing to attack
To close the Red Sea Strait.
to close the Red Sea Strait, Suez Canal, etc. in Saudi Arabia. No? Tapos, meron kang Iraq.
Hindi naman yung Suez Canal. Suez Canal sa Egypt eh. Pero yung Suez Canal is
The-
very
the-
narrow.
Yes, yes.
And it goes out to Mediterranean and Europe. It goes farther away from Asia.
Yes, yes. Tapos yung yung Iraq at saka Syria are about to go to war. Dahil nagbombahan na sila eh. Dahil yung Syria,
Pwede ba i-cordon off na lang yung area ngayon at sila na lang maglirahan?
kaso nandun yung langis.
Nandun yung langis eh. They get to keep all that.
Alam mo, malakas ang pressure ngayon kay Trump to speed up the resolution. Nadagdagan na naman ng $1 yung ano niya yung gasolina nila eh. Nakaka $2 na per gallon ang dagdag.
They're almost
And
at
they even have their own
$4.
crude oil And
$4
napakalaking
na.
bagay yun sa Amerikano.
They're at
They're the biggest.
$4.
Napakalaking
producer.
bagay yun.
$4
And he's
na ang
thinking
gallon.
about elections this year at lahat ng mga kasama niya sa Republican nagwawala na baka sila matalo because of him.
Yes.
Kaya malakas ang pressure sa kanya
Tsaka
to
yung
end
base
this
nila
war
amin ng mga
as soon
farmers
as
galit.
possible.
Yung mga farmers na base nila galit dahil planting season, nagdoble ang cost ng fertilizer.
They've
Kaya
the
nga.
Democrats have been
Kaya
flipping
malakas ang pressure
seats.
sa kanya to end this war
Yeah,
quickly.
And the Democrats have been flipping seats, 'di ba? Yung nanalo sa
Yeah.
Palm Beach, which is his turf.
Yeah.
Mar-a-Lago is there.
Yeah.
Is a Democrat and a first-time politician at
Yeah.
that.
Republican bases na flip towards the Democrats. So kinakabahan yung
Dahil
Republicans.
nagagalit yung constituency nila sa kanila eh. Nag-aalala sila ngayon. You know, November is just a few months away. Malakas ang ano niya mga yan. Masira negosyo nila, masira yung livelihoods nila. They are going to find someone to blame.
Except the billionaires na nag-invest dito sa crisis.
Pero yung party yung importante sa kanila eh. Malaking bagay sa kanila yon. May impact yan kung anong ginagawa ng leader ng party.
O sige, yung ka naman.
And the
yung
party
cup-
is pressuring Trump.
Yung cup half full naman.
Oh,
Tapos na yung
yung
cup half empty.
Hindi, yan naman yung positive Ibig ko sabihin,
The cup half full view.
positive na yan, di ba? Binibilisan niya yung yung pag-resolve.
alam ko kapakul mag-lala supper na. Bukas.
So ba kayo
Malapit na.
So baka
Jesus is
mag-holiday.
almost risen.
Hindi, kakain muna.
The
So baka
cup,
mag-holiday.
the cup half full view is, well, that's one thing, right? More people traveling maybe domestically, staying put domestically. Mas konti yung magbabakasyon abroad, right? So the money is circulating within our own economy, so that's one thing.
Optimistic.
Hindi,
Kaya lang, marami
Sige,
nang
bulong mo pa.
nagka-cancel nung land trip lang naman.
yeah.
Land trip. Ah.
And the other good news, by the way, is may discovery of gas sa Camago 3 sa West Philippines.
Last week pa yan eh.
Whatever, sinabi
Oo nga,
mo
luma
ba
na yan.
dapat overnight?
Ulit-ulit pa yun, araw-araw, ganun.
Hindi lang last week, every week.
Daya
Every
yan,
week,
daya.
Hindi mo naman sinabi dapat in the last 24 hours. Basta whatever. Basta
Dapat
may
ngayon lang, ngayon.
discovery of gas. Huge gas reserves
Tapos-
in Malampaya.
Tapos maglalagay tayo ng prefab ng mga na malalaking straw para sipsipin yung natural gas pumunta rito. Ganun kabilis para next month pakinabangan na natin.
Simple ka lang.
Pwede yun, cup half full.
Cup half full.
Di ba?
Cup half full. Okay.
Nagkakaloka na tayo. Si
Ayan,
Pastor
nandiyan na si
Merimon.
Merimon.
Anong ganap dyan? Nasa ka ngayon? WPS pa rin.
WPS pa rin.
WPC.
Yeah.
But ang kakaiba today, Merimon, is we heard that National Security Advisor Eduardo Año spoke. What did he say?
Magandang hapon. Ngayon kasi yung second day ng National Symposium on the Law of the Sea pati ng West Philippine Sea. So ito si Honorable Año, umikot kasi yung naging speech niya kanina sa 10th anniversary ng 2016 arbitral ruling na kahit lumilipas ang mga panahon at nakikita pa rin na may hostility on China when it comes to accepting the ruling, tuloy-tuloy pa rin naman daw yung efforts ng gobyerno from the education drives, awareness drives, yung partnering with schools, with the media, and yung paglalabas ng mas tamang naratibo, yung kinokorek yung mga misconception, nilalabanan yung mga fake news para lang masiguro na ipinaglalaban at sa maayos sa legal na pamamaraan itong karapatan daw ng bansa pagdating nga sa West Philippine Sea or a portion of the South China Sea. Ngayong araw naman, tuloy-tuloy pa rin. Tulad sa likuran ko, ayan, si retired SC Associate Justice Antonio Carpio, tuloy-tuloy pa rin yung kanilang mga discussion. Pero kaninang umaga, nung ang naging panel moderator ay ang ating anchor na si Ces Drilon, ang nakasalang doon si DOJ Attorney Freddy Ganchoon. At ang pinakabinahagi niya in relation nga dito sa 2016 arbitral ruling ay yung misconceptions na nakikita sa usapin na ito. 10 nga ang binigay niya kasi raw 10 years na yung anniversary na nga ng ruling. Kabilang dyan yung sinasabing hindi raw nagbigay ng consent ang China sa arbitration, yung arbitral tribunal, wala raw jurisdiction, yung award, nag-lead daw ito sa loss ng Philippine territory, hindi raw binding sa bansang China yung naging ruling, and hindi raw ito ma-enforce. Pero sa paglilinaw ni Attorney Ganchoon, in fact, nagbigay ng consent ang China for compulsory arbitration as state party to the UNCLOS. And then yung UN. And then yung lahat doon ng prerequisites sa exercise ng jurisdiction ng tribunal ay nakuha, it was met, kaya nakapag-exercise at mayroong jurisdiction itong arbitral tribunal. Yung award, actually, niresolve nito ang maritime issue at hindi raw nito napahina ang posisyon ng Pilipinas pagdating nga sa mga karapatang pandagat nito. And final and binding itong arbitral award sa China despite yung non-participation ito. At hindi raw kailangan na magsumite pa ng mapa na to be submitted to the United Nations Secretary General para lang daw mag-exist yung maritime entitlement ng Pilipinas. And kanina naman itong si Rear Admiral J. Tariela from the Philippine Coast Guard, sinasabi niya, para sa kanya, parang wala pang rason para siya personally makaramdam ng threat na magkakaroon ng changing ba sa posisyon ng Pilipinas tungkol nga sa usapin ng West Philippine Sea kasi naniniwala rin siya, firm believer siya pagdating sa international rule, yung rule of law, and marami daw mga sumusuporta na mga bansa, na mga expert dito at naniniwala naman siya na mailalaban naman daw ito sa ganitong mga pamamaraan. Yun nga lang, isang kalaban daw talaga dito is yung narrative na kailangang labanan that includes mis and disinformation tungkol sa West Philippine Sea. Balik sa inyo.
Mary Mon, coming back to yung keynote speech ni NSA Anyo, may na-mention ba siya about the times that we're living in, itong oil crisis that the country is grappling with?
Yung kanina kasi medyo hindi natin na-monitor ng maayos pero dinigan kasi dito ni Secretary Anyo is yung continuous efforts na sa contemporary issues lahat ng pinagdaanan ng bansa o pagdadaanan pa especially nga itong oil crisis lahat naman nagtitignan yung mga effort na kakailanganin para dyan. Pero ang nakausap natin regarding naman doon sa possible na joint exploration with China is si Assistant Director General Cornelio Valencia. Ang sinasabi niya, malinaw naman daw ito. Isa raw itong discussion, pero kung sakali man, non-negotiable ang 2016 arbitral ruling sa usapin na ito. And sinasabi naman nila, may baseline principle ang bansa, tulad ng sinabi kahapon ni Justice Carpio, nandyan din naman ang Constitution to contend with, na poprotekta sa mga karapatan nga ng bansa. And hindi naman daw nito ma-undermine at hindi dapat ma-undermine yung sovereignty, yung rights at yung teritoryo ng Pilipinas. But then again, medyo maaga pang araw para magsalita tungkol dito. Basta ang sinasabi, kailangan din daw na maging malinaw muna what's in it for the Philippines, what's in it for China kung sakaling mangyari yung oil and gas exploration. Pero yung natanong din kasi natin kanina yung tungkol sa insidente sa West Philippine Sea near the Pag-asa Island na yung isang Philippine Navy ship iniwasan nito yung possible collision with a Chinese warship. Ang sabi naman dito ni Assistant Director General Valencia, no untoward incident na nangyari naman daw dyan. And relatively medyo bago ito pero ang sinasabi naman mananatili pa rin naman na lahat ng gagawin moving forward ay legal. Hindi naman daw sila magiging coercive, hindi daw sila gagalaw ng agresibo as much as possible. Pero they're also looking forward long term. Ano pa ba yung maaaring mangyari? Kasi ang sabi nga, medyo bago siya pero inaasahan na talaga nila na mangyayari ito dahil nga sa hostility sa West Philippine Sea. Kaya medyo marami-rami yung nangyari ngayon. Inaabangan natin yung maaari natin makausap, and then yung lecture, yung mga keynote speeches, and the event or the symposium will run until early evening mamaya pa.
Marymon, meron bang tiga Department of Foreign Affairs dyan na nagsalita or
Nag-panelist.
at least yung nag-panelist sila?
Oo, yung mga nandito kasi is either from the defense, from law schools. For example, yung magiging line-up ngayon is sina Justice Carpio, sina Rear Admiral Tariela, si Sir Honorable Valencia, from the UANP Law School, si Dean Gatdula, from the National Maritime Council, si Yusek Alexander Lopez, and then yung kanina umaga nga sila Attorney Ganchoon. Nakasama din natin nga si Secretary Anyo, doon nga sa kanya naging keynote speech, and then from the We Protect Our Seas Foundation, si Dr. Jeffrey Ordaniel, from the De La Salle University, Dr. Renato Cruz de Castro, and from the Max Planck Institute for Comparative Public Law and International Law, nakasama din natin si Dr. Christian Schultheis, and from the DOJ, Attorney Ganchon, and then si Justice Antonio Carpio. So karamihan sa mga naging participants din dito ay nagmula sa mga law school,
So,
from the
Marymon, walang
academic
Department of Foreign Affairs.
So far sa nakita natin, parang wala karamihan kasi
mahalaga
dito
sila
nga
eh,
from law
dahil
schools and partner
Foreign
institutes.
Affairs issue rin yan eh. So wala
Oh,
sila.
actually kanina nga hinanap din ni Ses Drilon ang DepEd kasi sinasabi niya na kailan na ba madadagdag sa curriculum itong pagle-lecture tungkol sa West Philippine Sea. But then sabi ni Attorney Ganchon kasi di naman daw siya from the DepEd, pero ang alam niya it's in the works, kailangan daw tignan kung paano may papasok sa curriculum ito para nga masiguro yung education drive, especially sa kabataan, mai-instill daw yung tamang kaalaman tungkol sa West Philippine Sea. And ang nasabi dito ni Dr. Ordaniel from the WPS Foundation, kaya karamihan ng participants ay nanggagaling sa mga law school ay dahil kailangan daw hindi lang maintindihan nila yung usapin na to, yung arbitral ruling, yung West Philippine Sea, yung South China Sea, yung mga dispute dito by the book, kundi madali raw nila itong maipapaliwanag sa mga ordinaryong tao. Kasi daw kahit daw abogado ka o maging senador ka man daw, maaaring hindi mo pa rin daw talaga naiintindihan yung issue tungkol dito.
Kaya ko lang tinatanong sa Department of Foreign Affairs, parang may kaunting disconnect between the Department of Foreign Affairs, at least yung kanilang spokesperson, at saka yung spokespersons ng ating security sector. No? Parang merong dynamics na at may batay sa mga differences sa attitude towards West Philippine Sea, ASEAN Summit, Code of Conduct, at saka itong joint exploration. Halimbawa, yung lumabas more than a week ago, yung differences sa sinabi ng Department of Foreign Affairs doon sa joint patrol ng Chinese Coast Guard at saka Philippine Coast Guard na dinenay ng Philippine Coast Guard. So, kung nandyan yung DFA, mas malilinawan kung ano ba talaga itong differences na ito.
Of course, except Marymon said wala nga taga-DFA doon. So we'll leave that there. Thanks so much for your reporting. That was mobile journalist Marymon Reyes reporting from the West Philippine Sea National Symposium.
Thanks,
Thank
Marymon.
you, Marymon.
Thanks, Marymon.
We need to take a very quick break right now. You're watching StoryCon. Please stay with us. We'll be right back.
This is the Story Conference Group or the StoryCon Group.
We've got developing news in the stories behind headlines. Welcome back to StoryCon, the Story Conference. I'm Ed Lingao.
And I'm Regina Lay. So with us, Amy Pumitun of the Philippine Star and Ronald Llamas, our resident political heckler. Also joining us today is the director of the Philippine Nuclear Institute, or PN
Research Institute.
Research Institute. So Philippine Nuclear Research Institute, PNRI. So that's Dr. Carlo Arcilla, except his line froze, so I'm going to welcome him back in just a few minutes after we get the line back up.
And then, he's here.
Hi,
Okay.
Doctor.
Let's try that again. PNRI's Dr. Carlo Arcilla.
Doktor, baka pwede
Hi,
mo
Doctor.
ipaliwanag ano yung PNRI sa ating mga tikapakinig. Paano most of them Hindi pa alam kung ano ito eh.
Yung itlog doon sa Commonwealth, no?
Sa Commonwealth.
Yeah. Philippine Nuclear Research Institute.
Yes, but
So,
what does
yan
it
po
do?
yung,
Yeah.
yung itlog. Hopefully, yeah. I'm in Palawan, eh. So,
Okay.
maybe the signal isn't as good, no?
Yeah.
But anyway, that I hope you can hear me.
Yes, sir. We can
So-
hear you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Anyway, going back to Ronald's question, basics na, sir. Basics na muna. For those who, kasi we've had you before in another show, yung Wag Po, among other shows, and the Chiefs. The first time here sa Storycon, eh. For those who are new to the program, what exactly is the PNRI? And, tell us what it does.
Okay, the PNRI is the Nuclear Regulatory and also the Center for Nuclear Research in the Philippines. No, so we conduct nuclear research. We have the active research reactor. By the way, we are nuclear. We've had a nuclear reactor, an active one since 1960s, yung itlog po. And we also built a smaller reactor 2 years ago. And we will be building, hopefully, an advanced reactor. But this is all for research, no? And that's just for the power aspect. But we also do research in nuclear medicine, especially for to treat cancer and to make it cheaper for the people. We have research also on nuclear applications in agriculture and then on plastics. We applied nuclear technology to treat plastics. So we built a house made of plastic that is as strong as concrete using nuclear technology. These are just some of the things that we do. Yun po. But for power, because now there's a concern because of the energy situation. Nuclear is important because nuclear packs an immense energy density. Nuclear is 4 million times more dense than coal, gas, whatever we're using right now. No, so that's and then because of the energy density, you don't have to transport the fuel. The fuel can be there. Let's say for a nuclear plant, for 18 months operation, it can be stored it can be in one plane, but it takes construction takes time. But this is the big advantage of having nuclear is the energy density, and it is great. Yes. Nag-freeze lang po, no? Apologies.
It's okay, sir. Sir, but we've been talking about...
Apologies. Yeah.
Can you,
because
sir? Yeah. Yes, sir. We've been talking about the possibility of using nuclear energy since
I can hear
2022, if I remember right, di ba? We've been
Can't
talking
hear
about
you,
it for several years already. Pero
Yes.
things have been moving, I think, slower than I think you were hoping for. Kasi if I remember correctly, before you were hoping to move forward already with the idea of yung modular nuclear reactors.
Yeah. Anong nangyari, Doctor, dun sa usapan ng US with President Bongbong? Yung may pinirmahan pa sila tungkol sa nuclear power. What is that about? Is that a feasibility study? Is that, ano yun? Ano yung pinirmahan nila? More than a year
Okay,
ago.
several things. No, ang unang... Yeah. Again, I hopefully the several things. Number one, in the past 3 years, we've had what we call the 1-2-3 agreement, because the U.S. before it exports nuclear power, it must make sure that the country being exported to does not use it for nuclear weapons. No, so we have that out of the way. So, which means that we can import nuclear technology from America. And by the way, there's a constitutional prohibition in the Philippines for nuclear weapons, but not for nuclear power and nuclear technology. So then that's one. And then also, it opens the Philippines to nuclear power, large nuclear plants or smaller nuclear plants. You know? But the small nuclear plants, the small modular reactors have become very, very relevant in the past 3 years simply because of AI and also climate change. AI consumes a lot of electricity. In fact, in the U.S., President Trump said, if you want for the AI companies, you make your own power because you cannot burden the grid. And the perfect power for them are the small modular reactors, no? Because they don't need to go to the grid. And luckily for us, we will be in the forefront of this research because an American company, Valar Atomics, is thinking of doing a prototype reactor right in the Philippines. If they're successful, it can even be manufactured here. But more important than that, we will be able to study how this operates. So we will be in the forefront of this research. No? Everybody, the first company that's able to make a small modular reactor will actually be successful very, and then we can,
So, Doctor,
because there's going to be a lot of market.
So,
Yes.
Doctor, based sa aking tanong, meron na tayong ini-explore na partnership with the US. Meron na tayong gano'n. Dahil
Yes.
yung mga nakausap ko kasi na mga Canadians at saka mga French, medyo natawa kasi sila dahil ang tingin nila hindi gano'n ka-advance ang US tungkol sa modular nuclear power plants. Ang sinasabi nila, mas advanced ang
Okay.
Canada at saka France, no? Dito sa mga modular na ito. So nagulat sila na tayo daw ay nakikipag-usap sa US na hindi pa ganun ka-advance.
Okay. Okay, that's not entirely correct. I was just in the States 2 weeks ago. It's like this. There are 150 designs on small modular reactors, but only 2 are operating, and they're both in communist countries. One is in China, the HCGR. Another one is the Lomonosov, the PWR in Russia.
Nag-freeze na.
Nag-freeze ulit.
Kulang sa nuclear power.
Nawala.
Okay, below.
Kailangan natin ng nuclear
Ayan
power
na,
sa
ayan.
Palawan.
Baka
Hi, Doctor.
mag-audio lang tayo para mas malinaw. Ano?
Yeah. Pwede rin po. I'll just, sorry, kasi this is the one of the problem. I mean, Palawan.
Yes, sir.
Palawan
Yeah,
needs
yeah.
power.
Yes, sir.
Audio na lang,
Yeah, pala-
Doctor.
Yes, sir. Doc, mag-audio lang tayo. It's okay. We can just
Walang video.
Okay.
voice na lang, sir.
Yeah.
Baka
Okay.
mas mag-stabilize.
Sige. Yeah. But, okay, let's go back to the small modular reactors, no? There is a big race on that, no? And last year, America, with Trump, said, hasten the licensing of these reactors. And so he made an executive order ordering the fast tracking and research of these reactors. And there are about 10 companies that are in America that are doing this, no? Kasi ganito yan eh, there are 150 designs, but only 2 or 3 are working. Sabi ko nga, too many PowerPoints, too few power plants. So yan yung problema. Sa France at saka pati na sa Canada, they're still in the power plant PowerPoint stage. Canada is building a small modular reactor, BWRX, pero hindi pa tapos 300 megawatts, no? Si China nga nandiyan na po nandiyan na siya nagpo-produce ng electricity, but we cannot buy electricity, we cannot buy and deal with the Chinese, as you know, because of geopolitics. But one company that's building, called Valar Atomics, they were the first company to actually, their instinct is to build. And what I like about this company is the reactor they're building is meltdown proof. Ibig sabihin, hindi mangyayari yung sa Fukushima. Kasi instead of protecting the building like big thick walls, they're protecting the fuel. So, if their model works, you can put the nuclear plant right beside right downtown.
Nope.
If it works. That is why it has to be
Dito, Doctor.
tested. Ano po?
Wag dito sa downtown natin.
Hindi, meron na po. I'll tell you something. We have a reactor right in the middle, not far from your place.
Yeah, in
Oo
Quezon
nga,
City.
yeah. Doctor,
No, I mean-
tinanong ko na to sa inyo, no, when we talked before,
Yes.
Baka naman nagbago na yung technology. I'm asking about yung waste. Ano
Yeah.
anong gagawin dun sa waste kung sakasakali?
Okay, the
Meron
waste,
na bang bagong technology?
the technology has always been there and for the longest time. It's called geologic disposal. And if the president decides to go nuclear, and if he asks my opinion, I would say start the nuclear waste disposal at the beginning of the nuclear program. And there's one technology that we already have, deep borehole disposal. Kasi
Ano po yun?
deep borehole,
Borehole.
boreholes.
Oo
You
nga,
know
ano
why?
yun? Ano po yun?
Tawag dyan, drill holes. Our
Yes.
geothermal wells drill up to 3 kilometers deep. So the technology to drill those wells are already present. So you get an isolated island, you drill the holes, you put the waste there. Because of the density of nuclear, the volume of waste is not very big. Okay? And so you can put the waste there and plug it with bentonite. Bentonite is an interesting material because it's a clay that's cut litter, but its crystal structure is negative, is layered and negatively charged. Pag makatakas yung radionuclides, it will be trapped with no escape. That is the model for that. The technology for nuclear waste has been there for many years, but they have implemented it late. Yan ang problema sa Western world. If we're going to do
late na.
nuclear, we should start the waste at the beginning. Kasi yan ang agam-agam na maraming tao because nuclear waste will
Yes.
be there for 10,000 years.
Lalo
But
sa atin na ma-earthquake dito, Doktor. Paano kung ma-earthquake yung island na pinaglagyan ng basura?
wala pong problema. As you know, ma'am, the earthquake, I'm a geologist, no? The seismic waves are strong on the surface but weak down in the underground. In fact, and this has been proven nung 1990 earthquake po, yung doon sa Pilex mines. The damage was severe in the surface but not underground. Okay? So the ways are actually safer below ground. And this is, as I said, well established. Problema lang. That's why it has to be transparent. And mas maganda nga may demonstration para ipakita kung paano gagawin.
Doc,
Because once it's done, by the way, if you want to see, there are two repositories that are now. One is in the U.S., the salt mine, and Finland is building a nuclear waste disposal site. Pero anong tawag yan? Mine yung sa kanila. Philippines, our projected waste will not be very big. So, and we have the technology for that. So, in fact, that's what I would recommend. Demonstrate that the waste can be safely stored
yeah.
first.
The
Yeah.
the
Yun po.
big question here in the
So,
Philippines.
and it can be. Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Dr. Arcila, the big question, of course, in the Philippines is whether or not we have the capability to handle nuclear, both in terms of the skills, the people, the talent to operate and run nuclear plants, and then pangalawa, it's a very expensive type of power to generate, right? Whether we would be able to get to the point that we will be able to handle nuclear. And then as in the case of Fukushima, what happens when there is a disaster, right? Which is tied to your answer about nuclear waste disposal, pero not quite. What if there were a big enough earthquake that, causes a massive leak, then what?
Okay. Let me answer your question step by step. First, with respect to the earthquake, we will not have an earthquake like Fukushima, magnitude 9, because the size of the earthquake is proportional to the contiguous length of the fault. We have faults here, but they are not contiguous, they are segmented. We've never had a magnitude 9 earthquake. We will not have, because the one in Japan is a continuous fault, magnitude 9 earthquake that destroyed. And by the way, the Fukushima reactor was not destroyed by the earthquake. What destroyed the earth
The tsunami.
and not even the tsunami destroyed it. What happened is that they put the cooling diesel engines in the basement, and the tsunami flooded it. And so there was a meltdown, and then so we know the engineering reasons to prevent that. For example, Fukushima will not happen in the Bataan nuclear power plant for number one reason. The Bataan nuclear power plant elevation is 18 meters above sea level, higher than the tsunami height. Okay, so that's the if ever we're going to resurrect the Bataan nuclear plant. Then the second thing is this: the new generation reactors will not need this big concrete things because the protection is on the fuel itself. So-called dry. So that's the exciting part of the research. Because if it is proven that these reactors are safe, doon po sa research pa lang, no? Then it will be a game changer. And it's perfect for the Philippines because the small reactors are very good for the isolated islands. Kasi that's the most expensive electricity. Yung mga diesel, yung mga spag, yan ang mamahal talagang kuryente. Now, the small reactors can actually power those islands. Now, will that be cheaper? It will be more expensive, but it's like this. A nuclear reactor right now, America has 94 reactors. The average is 60 years. They're licensing them for 80 years. 80 years. So you can amortize the cost of the reactor over that time, and you can recover it. To give an example, yung twin nuclear plant ng BNPP natin, Cory 2 in South Korea, they recovered the cost in 6 years. So, gravy na lang pagkatapos noon, no? So, this is kaya nga lang, hindi mo pwedeng pakialaman, you cannot, for example, change the policies because 80 years yung life ng planta mo. You have to actually let it operate to offset the cost. Nuclear is expensive to construct. But once you construct it, the fuel is a lot cheaper because, as I said, it's highly energy dense. Okay? Just to give you, again, another illustration. If you operated, for example, the Bataan nuclear power plant, the fuel will fit in big jeepney para o isang maliit na elf truck. That will cost $30 million. It will last for 18 months. Wala ka nang ipapasok na fuel for 1.5 years. And then, $30 million, zero pollution, zero carbon dioxide. If that were a coal plant running for 18 months, 620 megawatts, you will need 50 Panamax ships. A Panamax ship is 50,000 metric tons. The importation cost is $800 million. Tapos with a lot of pollution. So, even if your Bataan is, let's say, refurbished with the cost of $2 billion, in 3-4 years, bawi na yung cost ng refurbishing because of the savings in fuel, plus zero carbon dioxide, no? And then security also. All the fuel will be stored in that 1.5 years in the plant itself. So, bagyo man ang dumating, maski na linol, hindi kagaya nangyayari ngayon sa Ship of Hormuz, where hihintayin mo yung mga ships, because the energy density is not as high, the ships have to fall in line to be able to deliver the energy, especially that's also the same for gas.
Doc,
By the way, our plan for us is to take out coal and then replace it with gas.
Yeah.
But gas, they're all imported. Anyway, this is not meant to replace them. Yes, ma'am.
Doc,
Sir.
let me
Yes,
ask you
po.
something in terms of policy. Kasi kanina you mentioned you had the phrase if the president decides to go nuclear. So we're not yet there. In other words, we have not yet decided to go nuclear. Kasi for example, we passed a law last year, the Nuclear Safety Act,
Yeah.
and then you had already several MOUs with the US with regard to nuclear power and a flow chart or framework of sorts on nuclear. So parang we're in a limbo of sorts eh. Are we going nuclear or not? Akala ko nga meron ng may timeline na 2032 and beyond
Yes.
eh. So which is it talaga?
Okay, my timeline 2032 si DOE, okay? Now, everything is set. At nandyan na yung national position, and then, but for example, hindi pa tapos, ang napaka-urgent na gawin ngayon, we have the new nuclear law that will create the independent regulatory. It will be called the PhilAtom. That will be headed by a director general and then 4 deputy secretary generals, no? And that will be cabinet rank. Why is it independent? So that its main mission, which is safety, number one, safety, security, and safeguards, is not interfered with politics or with anything else. So this regulation kasi, independent regulations helps assure safety. For example, I'll give you an example. In America, they have 94 reactors. Each reactor has 2 regulators na nakatira doon. There's no coal plant, oil plant, whatever it is, gas, na meron ka ng live-in resident regulator. But for nuclear plants, there are at least 2. If there's anything not working, like a reserve pump, that will be taken care of. It might stop the plant. Ganon, the standards are like that. Now, in the Philippines, the one that will determine nuclear are private companies. It's not the government. And then one of the best things that has happened in nuclear in the Philippines is that MGen and Meralco have decided full tilt that they will go nuclear. You should have seen their promotional video on nuclear because they realized, Meralco, MGen just opened a 3,500 megawatt solar plant in Nueva Ecija and Bulacan. I think they just opened it. But the 3,500 megawatt costing 200 billion pesos is only available 25% of the time. So they have to put in 4,000 megawatts of batteries. Kaya ang mahal-mahal ng presyo niya. Now, ang nuclear plant, will not require, for example, the Bataan nuclear plant the actual footprint is 2 hectares. Tapos 620 megawatts. So, and it will be available 92% of the time.
Yeah.
People don't talk about availability. Kasi that's the important thing when renewables are good but they are limited in availability or capacity factor po. Yun po yung importante.
Oo nga eh.
So,
That's,
yun po yung that's why yung earlier na say hindi kaya ng Pilipinas. I beg to disagree.
Yeah.
Why? Because we have a reactor that's been active for 6 years. Our scientists, a female Filipino nuclear scientist, invented the world's first subcritical research reactor. Okay, and it's not operational. You can visit it. It's in PNRI, and the IAEA are very impressed with this. So tayo ang gumawa nun, funded, designed, and built by Filipinos. And then another thing, UAE has 4 brand new huge reactors from South Korea. I talked to the regulator of the UAE. He told me there are thousands of Filipino engineers working during the construction and dozens of engineers there. And some of them have emailed me, say, if you start nuclear program, we will come back as long as you match the pay. So it's true that we don't. For example, dati, UP had a nuclear engineering course. Pero nung kinancel ni President Quino yung BNPP, it was stopped kasi saan sila pupunta? Now, LaSalle, Mapua are opening nuclear programs and UP is going to catch up. And then the great thing is that we have now a laboratory for them to study. Our research reactors can train them, on this. And then also, in the whole world, COP28 says we should triple nuclear to fight climate change. Nag-age na po yung mga nuclear workers. And the Philippines can actually go and fill that gap. Hindi sila gagawa dito. Pero ang problema po talaga natin, napakamahal ng kuryente natin. And nuclear can help with that. Yan po.
All right, it's
Doctor, may ilang mga congressmen yung kumakausap sa akin, ang advocacy nila ay i-revive yung Bataan Nuclear Power Plant. Nakatenga lang daw kasi. So, anong tingin nyo dyan? Is it better na bumili na lang tayo ng mga bago, ng mga modular, or
modular
feasible
reactors?
or feasible pa rin na i-revive itong Bataan Nuclear Power Plant as being espoused by this congressman?
Okay, regarding that po, no, yung Bataan Nuclear Power Plant, there have been several feasibility studies, and I've been told there's just one that has been done, completed a month ago by the South Koreans, but I haven't seen a copy of it. I believe it's with the DOE. What's holding the Bataan Nuclear Plant, Hamilton, is politics, not technology. Why do I say that? We have had many visitors to visit the plant, and then they say that it can be rehabilitated. And the one that has the most credibility of saying this are the South Koreans, because they have a working model. You know, when the BNPP was built, 3 other plants were built at the same time, one in South Korea, Slovenia, and Brazil. The 3 plants in the other countries have been working for 40 years, very safely and very profitably. In Slovenia, their reactor, 10% ang cost nila as compared to us, no? And so, ang sabi ni South Korea, we can revive your plant because you have a working model. We can train your people there. Now, ang tanong lang, bakit ayaw pa gumalaw? In my opinion, if the president says, I want it done, it's my father's, and then we need it, kasi may opposition yung Garcia family dyan sa Bataan, okay? But I will also tell you, it can be an oligarch problem because that the electricity will be cheaper. And, you know, some people who are producing power might be fearful that it will eat into the profits. But I don't think so, because it will provide a very good backstop for renewables. Kasi ang nangyayari, ang thrust po ng government natin ay renewables. Ang problema nga sa renewables, it is intermittent. At saka
Tsaka hindi
napaka-mahal.
siya...
Hindi,
Okay, hindi siya...
yan po yung problema.
Oo, hindi siya enough for base load power. It's not as reliable as
yun nga. So people
nuclear.
will say base load. How can you... Okay, I'll tell you one thing that made me almost cry when I visited the Quarry 2 in Busan 2 years ago. It's not just that the plant was running, you know, it is, you drive 40 minutes past it, you will see manufacturing plants left and right. That we lost when we didn't operate the Bataan nuclear plant. Industrialization will not happen without cheap electricity. That is just the case. Here in Palawan, I mean, you know, the most beautiful island in the world, may mga brownouts, and this is a perfect place to put nuclear plants kasi walang earthquake, walang volcano, at saka kailangan ng power. In fact, when I met with the former governor here, sabi niya, kailan mo dadalhin yung small modular mo rito? Sabi ko, we are just the regulators, you know?
Yeah, well...
But the nuclear in the Philippines will be posed by the private sector. And as I said, Meralco is leading the way. GN Power is thinking about it, but Meralco is very serious. You know, they're sending their engineers abroad. Many of them have come to me and they visited the BNPP. But they're saying we will not move ahead without an independent regulatory. So ang number 1 step pong dapat gawin ni Presidente, mag-appoint na ng Director General for Philatom so that we will have an independent regulatory.
Yeah, don't worry.
It's extremely important to have that po.
Huling tanong, Doktor, no? Anong status
Apo.
ngayon ng fusion power? Ano ine-explore ngayon ito ng several countries eh? Merong mga working models na pero hindi pa to talaga marketable. Pero di ba mas safer siya, mas malaki yung energy na napoproduce? Nga pala, para sa ating tigpakinig, yung nuclear fission na ginagamit ngayon ng nuclear plants natin around the world ay paghahati ng splitting the atoms, heavy atoms. Yung nuclear fusion ay pag-combine ng light atoms. So medyo magkaiba yung sistema nila. Ano bang status niyan? In the next decade or so ba? Pwede na yan? Is that workable?
Yeah, okay. What's happened with fusion research? A lot has happened. Kasi to create fusion, you need a lot of energy first, you know. Kasi you need to create very high temperatures for fusion to happen. The one problem with fusion is this: the temperature of the fused material is extremely high, millions of degrees. The big problem is how to contain it. Once you can contain it, then you'll be able to use it. But hindi pa po, we're not at that level yet, no? So hindi pa siya makakakuha ng kuryente. Meron na siyang net energy coming from it, but it will be a material science challenge. So I will see that maybe in the next 10, 15 years. But I'll tell you something that's happening right now. Microsoft's Terra molten salt reactor inapproved na ng US NRC. Okay? Yung matagal nang gustong gawin niya ni Bill Gates, no? So all of those guys nag-aagawan. Yung dating 3 Mile Island po na reactor, isa lang nasira, yung iba tinayanggan nila. They are reviving it, and it's going to provide electricity for the AI companies. So the AI companies, Amazon, all of those guys, are really funding research, including fusion. So kung sinong mauna makagawa, yun po yung ano.
Yeah.
And then one last item po, ma'am. The sun is running on fusion. Sabi ko nga, solar is nuclear energy, but fusion, malayo lang siya. Yun po.
Well, here's hoping, well, not hoping, I don't know how soon we could make it a reality that nuclear is part of the energy mix. But we'll leave that there for now. Thanks so much for talking to us all the way from Palawan. That was the director of the Philippine Nuclear Energy Institute, Dr. Carlo Arcilla. Salamat, sir.
Salamat, Doc.
Thanks, sir.
Salamat po.
Doctor.
I'm hopeful. Pa-retire na po ako kasi sana po. Thank you.
Pahabol pa si Doc.
Baka kaya pa ihabol ni President Marcos in 2 years.
Alin?
Kailan mo
Yung nuclear.
Kala ko
Yung framework. Yung
kala ko
policy framework for
kala ko yung
nuclear.
State of emergency.
Because, I mean, it's symbolic for him as well, right? Because obviously BNPP is his father's project.
Pero sabi nga niya, it's also political eh. Dahil
Oo.
siyempre, yung may control ng power ngayon,
Oo.
is it in their interest?
May capture.
Oo.
May regulatory
Is it
capture
in their
nila.
interest na magpasok ng nuclear dito or i-maintain yung present energy mix natin?
But I'm not sure if he would want to bring back the image of his father dun sa nuclear
Yeah.
picture kasi the corruption
That's
scandal
linked to
Yeah.
corruption.
Hindi naman yung
BNP.
technology ang
$50 million.
concern.
Pero hindi naman yung technology yung problema that time. I know nuclear has a bad rap here, pero not because it's,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, it's the corruption,
Oh,
yung overpricing, ng Westinghouse, etc.
Oo.
Westinghouse yan.
so once again, we were failed by our
Government.
follies.
So, parang anarchist ka, ayaw mo ng gobyerno. Of
Hindi
whatever
naman.
kind.
Hindi naman. I'm just saying that the intent is always good, kaya lang in the implementation is the problem.
Galing ka pa naman Singapore, eh, don't
Pero-
strong government.
Pero it's true. There are many people in the industry who say SMRs hold a lot of promise. Small modular reactors. Meron pa nga MMRs, micro modular reactors, that are apparently safer, easier to run, and relatively cheaper compared to traditional nuclear
Kaya kung tinanong yung
systems.
fusion dahil wala siyang nuclear waste eh. No, iba siya, iba yung kanya. Tapos wala rin siyang risk na meltdown. Dahil hindi siya yung
Pero at least,
uranium
oo.
base na dinidivide mo yung atoms ng uranium.
Yeah.
No, ito ay basically deuterium yata ang ginagamit dito. No? Basta light
I
light
don't know my
atoms.
chemistry.
Light atoms ang ginagamit.
Light atoms.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
may bisita tayo.
Ito, nuclear to.
Okay.
Okay, we're on until 5:30 p.m. We'll be right back after a quick break. Please stay tuned.
This is the Story Conference Group or the Storycon Group.
Welcome back to StoryCon. I'm Gina Lay.
I'm Ed Lingao and still with us, Rol Llamas and Ami Pamintuan, and also Mr. Manny Magato. He's in the house.
Breaking news, but not related to us. Hindi ko alam if related to
Akala
us.
ko yung dollar na naman.
Malaysia has secured safe passage for its vessels through the Strait of Hormuz. So there is hope.
Kaya nga,
They did.
naunahan na tayo eh. Thailand, Malaysia,
They
naunahan na
did
tayo.
straight G2G, government-to-government diplomatic talks with Iran. So Iranian authorities confirmed just now that Malaysian-owned tankers, including from the state refiner Petronas, will be allowed to pass through the Strait of Hormuz free.
Ang Petronas ba
Tayo
kumukuha
next
ng
week
langis
pa.
sa Middle East?
Mag-Holy Week
Ano, may langis
vacation
din
pa.
ang- sa
Wala naman
Malaysia?
tayong vessels, Ami. It depends on where the
Wala tayong
vessels.
super tankers.
Yeah.
Depends on where the vessels are registered at, right? So Malaysia has their own vessels kasi meron silang state refiner Petronas. So yun makakadaan. Yung crude natin ay nakalagay sa vessels na
Kung
the Saudi.
kanino?
Saudi
Na enemy.
tankers. Oh, so the enemy, I guess
Nakaaway ng Iran.
enemy tanker. So kahit I doubt na even if we do G2G, unless there's a way. I mean, pasabay natin sa vessels ng Malaysia. Hindi ba? Pasakay.
ASEAN naman yan eh.
Kaya nga, ASEAN naman, exactly.
ASEAN yan eh.
So, ano yun, parang paihi?
O, pasakay sa vessels ng Malaysia.
Parang
Eh,
paihi.
vessel lang nila.
Unti-unti.
Oo.
Kasi
Hindi gagawin ng Malaysia yun, mapapasama sila.
or they can sell us more refined
Kung,
petroleum products.
Kung bibili tayo ng langis, halimbawa, galing sa Saudi Arabia, tapos ilalagay sa Malaysian tanker, no? Tapos dadalhin pala sa atin, magagalit sa kanilang Iran.
Sa bagay. Di we buy more na lang from Malaysia. So that's, in a way, it's good news for us kasi at least it's so much closer.
Tawag niyang
Right.
clutching at straws. Talaga
Cup half full.
Cup half full. Kasi, remember,
naghahanap talaga ng mali.
remember the problem with places like Canada, for example, is we're very far from them. Now, Malaysia will get their crude. They will have a steady flow of crude. They
Tatawid
can
ka lang ng
process
ano.
it. O di, we just go and buy from them. Hindi ba?
Sige, sige na.
Bibili pa tayo sa Russia.
Sige na. Okay na ako. Hindi ko na kukontrahin.
I'm just saying, cup half full, di ba? That's gotta be good news for us in ASEAN.
Iba kasi yung half full, iba yung 1/4 full.
Ang 1/4 lang ba yun? That's already half full. I think that's
1/5 lang.
In bad news naman, ang diesel ay nasa 130 plus na sa
140 sa iba.
140 sa iba, 136 sa iba.
Ngayon Tuesday.
I'm just checking the gas prices. 136 sa
Tumana
Shell.
sa kanina, ang pinakamula nakita ko are sea oil and Petron.
Ironically,
Magkano sa sea oil?
Sea oil, well, hindi diesel nakita ko kasi gasolina eh.
Ah, okay.
Meron pa nakitang nasa 980 something or
80 something
90.
pa.
Oh.
ironically, sa global market, medyo bumaba ng konti.
Slightly, oo. Nasa
Yeah.
110,
Oo.
110 na barrel
Oo
na
nga.
tayo.
Dito nagmamadaling tumaas eh.
Dito pataas.
Nagmamadali
Sa
laging
global,
tumaas,
Medyo
oo.
bumaba ng konti.
Diesel max, well, turbo diesel sa Petron is 140 now, but that's the most premium one. 140 sa Petron. 138 sa
Magkano ka sila? Petron.
XCS ba yun? Or extra advance? 97.
At another,
Kaya wala pong 100.
XCS.
XCS?
and another
XCS.
cup half empty. Another record low for the peso. 60.70?
No,
Yeah.
sinabi na yun yan kanina.
60.738. Was it
78.
Oh, 738. That's the 8th time this month alone. And I was telling Ami, I've never seen a month like this before. Na
Oo nga eh.
Several times.
Well, we've never
The
seen a
Ides
month
of
like
March.
this
8 times.
in a lot of aspects.
Sinabi na ng International Energy Agency that this is worse than the oil crisis, oil price shock of the 70s.
In the 70s. Yeah.
So,
Ayun naman,
Lalo
na-achieve
na-
na daw ang regime change.
At amazing yon dahil nga, kumpara nung 70s, sa talagang purely oil
yeah.
ang monopoly ng energy. Ngayon, meron ka ng iba't ibang mga sources ng energy. And yet, ganun pa rin, mas worse pa yung impact.
Hindi kasi natin, we didn't change, well, no, I mean, I know the government actively tried to change the energy mix. Kaya lang, well, for example, yung na-cancel na contracts for renewable energy, that also dealt a blow to it. That was 11,000 megawatts din, yung kinancel nilang ng DOE recently. And then yun nga, the nuclear, it's there. They've been talking about it for years, kaya lang there is still no policy framework around it. But it's good to hear na magiging cabinet secretary yung PhilAtom, cabinet level yung PhilAtom director. Hopefully that moves things a bit faster.
Ano mix natin? 60% is coal, no? For power? 60%
More.
thereabouts.
More than
is
60.
coal.
2/3.
Kasi cheap yun eh.
Tapos mga 20% is
Siya
not
yung
gas. And mga 15% tata yung renewable
Maliit
security,
lang.
yung
It's
thermal
very
and solar.
small, the renewable energy
And
share.
hydro.
Which is increasing, pero, you
Ano
know,
nangyari doon sa solar ng mga libiste?
yun
Yun
nga,
nga.
kinancel nga yung contracts.
Di ba,
diba?
Flinip?
Oh, pero hindi naman daw nagpo-produce masyado eh. Kaya
Yeah.
kinancel. Isang
Di
dahilan
ba
kaya
Flinip
kinancel.
nga ng Flinip?
Oh.
Yun ang criticism sa kanila. Sa kanya pala.
Hindi sila
Flip
nakapag-deliver.
lang nang nag-flip ng ano. Flipper.
You mean they sold the contracts?
Hindi ba, yun ang main criticism sa kanya. Fini-flip lang yung ano, para
Flip-flip.
yan. Flipper tawag sa kanya. Kaya
Aside dun
ang
sa-
actually, yung binili ng ano, ng Meralco, yun yung nag-ano ngayon ng solar. Kaya lang, yun nga, you have to augment.
Lakas ng ano.
Kaya kailangan lang.
Inanto ka sa solar.
Hindi, wala ka man lang subtlety, no?
Sorry. Hindi ako Pino katulad mo.
90... Hindi ako what?
Hindi ako Pino katulad mo. Ikaw kasi Pino eh.
Filipino.
Ay, naku, ano ba yan? Tapos sasabing corny ako.
Sobra.
92.40 ang XCS sa Petron. So, yun yung pinakamura. for
90.
now. 92.40.
92.40, yeah. Parang yung CL was cheaper eh. But,
Oh, Petron is generally cheaper
Yeah.
kasi nga sarili nilang oil
Sarili
yun.
silang refinery eh.
Oo. So, ewan ko sa inyo, basta ako, I'm holding on to that news about Malaysia's vessels with hope.
Kapit ka ha? Kapit.
Ikaw, yan.
Kapit.
Kapit talaga ako. At least it's so much closer, hindi ba? And we have very good ties with Malaysia.
Until you bring up Sabah again.
Don't talk about these things anymore. All the President Marcos has to do is pick up the phone and call PM Anwar. Diba? Oh, I heard your vessels are gonna get, you know, get allowed to pass through the Strait of Hormuz.
Patawagan niyo si Erap, di ba?
Sabihin. Pwede bang paihi?
Magpaihi. What's paihi?
Corny niyo naman.
Di ba patawagan niyo si
Ay,
Erap?
pa.
Di ba si Erap tsaka si Anwar, body-body yan eh.
Oh, are they? Were they?
Oo, pala eh. Medyo problematic na si...
Si Erap.
Namit ko si Anwar last April, last year.
Sa body-body rin kayo.
Nawala
Oh, di
yun.
tawagan mo na.
Text mo na.
Hindi, kaso
Call him
away
now.
kami dahil sabi niya, as far as we are concerned, the only
Nawala yung
conflict
sound.
in the South
Hindi ko
China
sila
Sea is
marinig.
between China
Oh, yan
and
na.
the Philippines.
Okay na.
Ganun ha?
I'm sure it was
Hindi ko
tempered.
narinig.
Ganun ha?
I'm sure it was tempered. But I mean, yeah, wala nga tayong consensus with many of the ASEAN countries in terms of the South China Sea claims.
Buti pa si Kwan eh. Sino ba yung matanda? Na
Mahathir.
Mahathir, si Mahathir. Oo. Buti pa siya eh. Talagang
Matanda.
kinanto niya ang China.
Lahat sila matanda.
Hindi, magwa 100 na si Mahathir.
Oh, that's true. That's
Parang
also-
Enrile yun eh.
Parang si JP.
Immortal.
Oo, parang Enrile yun.
But it's true. He's still apparently very lucid, very sharp. Si PM Mahathir. Okay, we'll leave that there. What is
Bye
our
na.
cup half full thought for today?
Half full. Si
Wala.
Manny Mugato is still lucid.
Ano? Malapit na yung oil. Oh, di ba?
It depends on how you spell full.
Thanks for joining Storycon today. I'm Mipo Mintuan, Editor-in-Chief of the Philippine Star. Ronald Llamas, a resident political pundit. Join us again tomorrow, 4 p.m. for Storycon. I'm Regina Lay.
I'm Ed Lingao, kapatid. We are One News, all sides, all the time.
This is the Story Conference Group or the Storycon Group.